because this is a French album that you can't get in England. It's a recent release, it only came out last year, but it's an old album that should have been released in 1970. And it's by this lady, Marie Laforet, one of my French singers. Now, she's a little bit different to most of those sort of yay girls ones. She's a little bit more folky, a little bit more serious, although she did do the odd single that was a little bit down the sort of more popular. She was probably better known as an actress as well. Gave up singing pretty much altogether in the mid-70s, then made a bit of a comeback later on. Her first film she was in was called The Purple something, and it was with Alain Delon. It was in every single film that France made for about 20 years solid, I think. But anyway, this is an album which is called Asphodels. Now, this was the album she wanted to put out in 1970, but the record company wouldn't let her because it didn't sound quite right for what they thought she should sound like. So they did lots of remixing and changing around and all that sort of stuff. But this is it in its original form as how it should have come out then, and it's a really, really nice album. So if you can pick up a copy of this, get hold of one if you like your sort of French folks, a little bit dark and brooding in places, a little bit light and nice in others. It's really good, absolutely wonderful singer, Marie Laforet. Her albums are very hard to get over here, so if you see them around, pick them up. She also did loads of those four-track French EPs in the 60s. If you see them around there, worth having as well. I don't buy singles very often, but 4-track EP is a little bit more substantial than a single. But Marie Laforet, most of her albums are just called Volume 1, Volume 7, and all that sort of stuff. So, again, the same thing with the Françoise Hardy, who's behind me there. There's a lot of the same album with different titles when it came out in England, when it came out in Portugal, when it came out in France, when it came out in Germany, all that sort of stuff. But Marie Laforet, probably not quite so well known outside of France, or in England anyway, as Françoise Hardy is. The most famous track is probably called Viens, Viens. But she also did a version of Painted Black with the Rolling Stones way back early as well. So it's a good varied career and well worth getting a listen to her if you get a chance. I'm always delighted to pick up a copy of that. I was also looking forward to reading the sleeve notes that came in, extensive sleeve notes, and they're all in French, so I'll have to download Google Translate on my phone and take photographs of it bit by bit, because my French isn't good enough to be able to understand exactly what's going on there. So maybe we'll do a feature on this album one day when I've read it all properly and know what I'm talking about. Me know what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay, maybe not.